Well, hello out there, great lands for lands. Welcome to the MCU'S Building Edge. We are live Friday night, November 22nd, to discuss the 1996 film Primal Fear. So, if you're not familiar with Primal Fear, it is a drama thriller film directed by Gregory Hoblit, who's directed a few other things over the years and is a very great director. The screenplay was by Steve Shagan and Ann Bitterman, based off of the book by William Dial called Primal Fear as well. Of course, this film, if you're not familiar with it too, stars, of course, the great Richard Gere, Laura Linney, John Mahoney, Alfred Woodard, Francis McDormand, Edward Norton, of course, in one of his greatest roles, I think, to date. And, I think that, this is probably one of my all-time favorites of, Edward Norton. I think he does a fantastic job in this film. And I just think overall, this probably is his magnum opus, I feel, out of all the, basically all the roles he's done over the years. Of course, besides American History X, and then, of course, I feel, his underplayed role in the score, I think, doesn't get enough credit for how good that film is. But overall, I think it's just a really well done performance of this film. Anyways, so just to kind of start off the bat, just kind of going around the table as usual. How many times have you seen this? Is this your first time or your 900th time, whatever you like to say? And just kind of your overall thoughts on the film, just to kind of give us kind of an idea of what your thoughts are on it. And I'll start with you, Andres.
Okay. I heard the film. This is my first time watching the film fully. I'm more aware of the twist ending. But it's still a great film. I actually really liked it, so I'm very excited to talk about this film.
All right, Jeff.
This was actually my second watch. Was just before we started the review. My second watch of it, and I think like I may have caught snippets of it, watching just flipping channels like throughout the years, like back in the day, like when it was on HBO. I may have caught it, here and there. Once you've seen it one time, the shtick of it really kind of like is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like the ending is out of the box. So, you're not gonna be able to get that back again, or whatever, like the whole swing of it, or whatever you want to call it, the whole twist and turn of it doesn't work anymore. But it's an all right movie. Like all 90s movies are like classics in their own way, and I like Richard Gere. So, good cast.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a phenomenal cast. It's too bad Andre Braugher passed away last year and John Mahoney a couple years ago. But I think that, this whole cast all did a great job of delivering this film and giving us this really great thriller film, which, is just from beginning to end, such a great twist, such a great film. And I think everything about it was just that 90s type of, type of film, like you were mentioning before, saying, how it's got that feel of the 90s. So I really appreciated that. So this got released April 1st in Los Angeles in 1996, its first viewing that it got. And then it was to the general public April 5th of 96. Of course, this has a runtime of 130 minutes, so 2 hours and 10 minutes is pretty good for this type of thriller type of film. So I think that for how long of a film it is, it runs smoothly, and I think it really does give a lot of great fun throughout the whole film. I don't feel there's any really downtime in the film itself, because I feel each section of the film really delivers and gives us, entertaining points that keep you stimulated and keep you wanting to watch more. So I think that this film does a good job of that. No pacing issues, I feel, anyways. But anyways, getting right into the film, basically the movie starts off. We're introduced to Martin Vale, who is an arrogant Chicago defense attorney known for his undesirable but high-profile clients, including mob boss Joey Pinero. Fond of the spotlight, Vale is profiled for a magazine cover story and attempts to rekindle a casual relationship with his former colleague, prosecutor Janet Venable. One day, beloved Archbishop Rushman is murdered in his bedroom and his body mutilated. Aaron Stampler, a 19-year-old altar boy from Kentucky, is caught fleeing the scene covered in blood and charged with murder. Vale offers to defend him pro bono, and the meek, stuttering Aaron claims he is innocent, but is prone to amnesia. Vale believes Aaron, while the state's attorney, John Shagnanis, assigns Venable to prosecute the case and pursue the death penalty. So we'll stop there. So what did you guys think about kind of that intro to the film, the killing of the Archbishop, the introduction to Martin Vale, the introduction to Janet Venable, played by Laura Linney? What did you think about the introduction to Edward Norton's character, and kind of just that beginning section of getting into the murder case and kind of Aaron's character being taken in after this death has occurred? And I'll start with you, Jeff, this time.
Yeah, I like Laura Linney. I haven't seen her in anything for a while. Not that I really am aware of what goes on in Hollywood, or like what comes out movie wise year after year. I'm sure she's probably been in things, but I haven't seen her in a long time. And she looks really good. I mean, young Laura Linney. She's really pretty. She's got a really great face. And Edward Norton, I think this was his breakout role. He can only do this once, like this kind of role. He worked for him, for him coming right out for like his first performance. I think that really lended well towards the movie, that he was like a fresh face. It's the introduction is like Cyber said, it's well paced. The casting is great. I think Andre Broner was on like Law and Order. He was on something like one of the cop shows back in the day. And that chick that like played Richard Gere's like assistant or whatever, she was definitely like on like ER or like something like back in the day. I know she was. I forgot her name.
Maura Tinnery.
Yeah, she was in TV. I know she was on something like one of the major shows back in the 90s. So she's hot. I dig her. The whole thing with like the priest or whatever getting killed or whatever the fuck happened, or minister or whatever the fuck it was, is like horrible, I guess, or whatever, but it's a movie. So like, what are you going to do? Shit happens. Besides that, Pedro Pascal auditioned for a role in the film. How about that? So there you go.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Pop Culture Guy, your thoughts, sir?
Yes. I thought the opening was really good. One of the things I missed during the 90s is when we actually spend our time getting to know our characters. This opening just reminds me so much of The Fugitive, not because it's in Chicago, and if you haven't seen the 1993 version of The Fugitive, it's set in Chicago. Everything about this opening like kind of feels like that. Like we're seeing the bird, the frame up, or whatever this case is going to be in the film. And I think it's, again, as Cyber say, well paced. I mean, getting to know our characters and how they're related is really neat, so we can understand what's going on throughout the film, which is really good. Like particularly with Richard Gere's character and Laura Linney's ones. Like I really appreciate that. Like they have a history, and it's built here right away, so that we know, these two opposing parties that are gonna, take the case. And so I think I really appreciate that opening here, and a lot of great actors here I recognize. I mean, of course, the actor, obviously, John Mulaney, who's from Frasier. He's fantastic. I love him. He's, an amazing actor. And just answering Jeff's answer, the the Tommy Goodman character, he was in Homicide: Life on the Street from 1993. So this was like a couple years when he premiered in '93. So he was still in the show until 1999. And then the secretary, the ER, didn't start in 1999. So it's before ER became a TV. I recognize that. And then of course the FBI, the cop that takes in the case is from NCIS. Great show, love it. I forgot his name here. Joe Spain, who played Stenner, the cop that we see at the beginning when the bishop is murdered. Of course, the bishop's actor we recognize. He's another fantastic actor. Of course, Stanley Andres, who's like the Drew Carey's father from the Drew Carey show. He's fantastic. Fantastic opening. I really dug it, and it gets you right away getting into the case, which is great. And this is Edward Norton's film debut. That's a big theme. Love it. I love the actor. I mean, I will consider this performance as maybe. It's tough because he has great performances. Like, don't forget about Death to Smooch, or The Grand Budapest Hotel, or Birdman, which I think that's my favorite performance from his filmography. But yeah, Edward Norton is a great actor. I love him. So this is his best performance, and it makes a lot of sense why he's breakout role.
Okay. Did you say ER started in 1999?
Hold on.
Or were you saying were you saying somebody who started it in 1999?
Yes. No. Thank you for
the show started in 94 and it ran to 2009.
So the actress that plays the assistant, she started the ER in 1989. Correct. That's what I was trying to say here.
So after she did Liar Liar, she was in ER. Okay.
Yeah, and she was also in News Radio. Great underrated comedy. If you haven't seen that, that's the late great Phil Hartman. Love that show. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Just clearing it for those out there that ER did not start in 1999. Yeah. And John Mahoney is the name of the dad from Frasier. Mahoney, not Mulaney. John Mulaney you're thinking of is the comedian.
Oh, yeah.
So John Mahoney, folks. John Mahoney.
Yeah, my bad.
All right. Excellent. Good job, guys. Good job. And just for Andres, we have to, just, have a great moment of, peace.
Hot D.
Just for him, just for him. Anyways, moving on. So great job, guys. Yeah. So interesting enough, just FYI for you guys out there, this movie was made for $30 million in 1996. That's pretty small, I feel, for such a big name cast. Especially, with, Richard Gere, who was really popular at the time. He came off of Pretty Woman in 1990, and he had, a few other films in between then. Alfred Woodard, Frances McDormand, all those guys were huge stars at this time. They were really coming to their own, and so a lot of them were high profile. So I'm really shocked that this only cost $30 million. But this film was actually a box office success because it ended up making 102.5 or 120.26 million in 1996. I thought that was kind of interesting that it did so well. So that's great to know. All right, so back to the film itself. So after, we are introduced to all that good stuff and Aaron's now in prison. They go to Aaron's apartment. Vale's investigator, Tommy Goodman, is attacked by another altar boy, Alex, who flees. Neuropsychologist Dr. Molly Arrington interviews Aaron for hours about his difficult childhood, his memory lapse, and his missing girlfriend, Linda. With help from Pinero, Vale discovers that powerful civic leaders, including Shaughnessy, lost millions in real estate investments due to Rushman's decision not to develop church-owned land. In court, a message carved into Rushman's chest is linked to passage from the Scarlet Letter, which denounced the Archbishop as two-faced. Val and Goodman track down Alex, who was searching for an incriminating VHS cassette. Stealing the tape from the Archbishop's closet, Vale and his team discover footage of one of the meta encounters filmed by the Archbishop, in which he coerces Aaron, Linda, and Alex to engage in sexual acts on threat of eviction from their group home. So we'll stop there. So what did you guys think about that section, finding the videotape that shows, Archbishop being a pretty much basically, a predator, a sexual predator? What did you think about kind of that, the introduction to Alex and him and Andre Braugher fighting? What did you think about kind of that information we learned there too about kind of the behind the scenes with the church and the people there in that area, and kind of how things are being disrupted in the community, and kind of, basically kind of leading up to kind of that interesting kind of moment there where we get to see Aaron being documented and described by Francis McDormand's character. What did you think about that, guys? Starting with you, Andres.
Yes. Yes. I thought this was very good section, a great section actually. I mean, first up, I mean the whole bishop, the sexual, abuse case, I think is a relevant thing now. That was something that was happening probably in the 90s and the early 2000s. The exposure of these heinous crimes in church, So it just made a lot of sense to like do that in a film, and the fact this film did this. There was another film that they also did this. Well, differently actually. It was a prison movie, but anyway. So it's a very intriguing one, and I like the I always enjoy those kind of like the deep waters of the underbelly, and like we get into a lot of these things like of course the church is not like like happy go lucky sunny rainbows. It's still like this typical thing in the world, like very shady deals behind the closed doors, and you see that with the prosecutor person, was it the attorney, state attorney John, where he had investment on this this real estate thing of this like area, but of course he lost money because of the bishop didn't move forward with the plans. So that was really intriguing. And plus, we find out in the film with Richard Gere's character, he didn't because he worked under the attorney, the state attorney John, and his his ex girlfriend that's working with him. He worked under that under him of a case that he didn't like because it went to like this greedy thing that he did approve of, and that's why he went out to be like a defense was it a defense attorney. And so for this case, it's personal for him to like take down his old mentor, old boss that is not doing the ethical way in life as a state attorney. And so that is very intriguing. And of course we get the the psychology session with Frances McDormand, great actress. Yeah, I agree, Saber. I'm very shocked that we got all this big cast in this. But when you hear behind scenes that when they like the script and they like the movie, like the director or whatnot, they will take a pay cut to just join the film. Either it's because of the actors in this film, if they want to work with them, that's what happens sometimes. And plus during the 90s, we kind of got these films, like the John Grisham novels, like The Firm and the Client, so this was like another, the kind of court, thriller kind of thing that we got during the 90s. And so it made a lot of sense that, we gotta get this high caliber of film because of, the trend that was going on during the 90s. As the films I listed, and of course another great film, Time to Kill, great court film. Yeah, so that is what he like, especially Edward Norton here. Like, he was so good in these scenes. Like, you see him being Aaron, and then yeah, in this section we see a little bit of like his Roy persona, like his you know other identity come and like totally different person. Like, it's really impressive how he can switch like quickly, to this timid, this softer person into this like very aggressive, person to a second. It's really amazing, really great acting there. And then oh yeah, and then of course with the Tommy Goodman getting attacked by the the kid, who's from the other place show, Chicago PD. I was surprised he was here. A great actor, and I mean, very bloody. I mean, like, I was surprised how violent this movie was. Like, first off, the bishop's hands get cut off. He gets his eyes, which was really gruesome, and then the assistant, Tommy Goodman, takes out that, like, what do you call it, like cross earring, and like took it out from him in his ear when he was going into Aaron's apartment. That's like, wow, that's very, very like, graphic, and I was not expecting that. But yeah, I love this section. Like, we got into the twists and turns that's coming into the case, and this is where Richard Gere's character is like feeling frustrated because he thought this case is going to be simple, but it just turns out to be this very like complicated, of just like everyone's in part of this case for personal or for ambitious reasons.
All right. Thank you, sir. Great job. Great job. All right, Mr. Jeff, your thoughts, sir, on that section?
Yeah, definitely the the addition of the psychologist or whatever to the case, because this is the part of the film where the film goes straight to courtroom, kind of, and that adding that element is what draws out that initial, like Andre said, that initial spurt of the Roy development. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know, like, we could talk about it later on, towards the end of the film, obviously more, but like, again, I know that you got to take into consideration when this movie came out, right? Culturally, you know what I'm saying? Like, to take it to try to like, like watch it with your lens now in 2024 and suspend belief on some of the shit with the courtroom stuff, because like the multiple personality thing was just something that I think back in the 90s, wasn't the whole multiple personality deal like really cool, like really popular, like with courtroom shit and stuff like that or whatever? And weren't they just going off of that basically with it? I think, like, because like I remember that like in the 90s, I remember there being like a lot of material and content out there like with multiple personality stuff. Edward Norton does a good job with it. Like Andre said, he does a really good job with it. He sells it pretty good. The Laura Linney, Richard Gere dynamic is like okay for the film. It services the film okay, but I never really feel like they have any real romantic chemistry at all. If they're supposed to have it, I never noticed any. Like, I don't see it. Like I said, I like Richard Gere's team, like his his squad that he has, like, for the case and all that. Like, they're cool. And the back and forth, there's a lot of back and forth at this point in the film, where it's like Richard Gere's character going to see, what's his name, fuckface, in his jail cell or whatever, and Adam, or whatever the fuck his name is, I don't know, Aaron,
Aaron.
Aaron. He goes to see Aaron in jail and all that shit, hats off to Edward Norton. He pulls off a really good redneck accent. Like a southern accent is pretty good. So yeah, I mean, the whole deal with like the book and the Scarlet Letter shit and all that never matters. It never ends up mattering. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole carving on his body and all that kind of shit. Like they talk about it, but nothing comes out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a nothing burger, you know? So like it really means nothing at the end of the day. And that's all I got, Cyber.
Okay. Excellent job. Excellent. So so my next question for you guys would be, what were your thoughts on that little tape that they revealed, the sex tape itself? What did you guys think of that? What did you think about the actors that played Linda, whose name is an interesting name? Her name's Azalea Davila, and she hasn't done much except for this film, so I think it's interesting they picked her to be kind of that Linda character. You know, so I a little shocked that they had her to be that character, which sometimes that just is what happens. But kind of want to get you guys' thoughts on the viewing of that sex tape. What did you think, Andres?
I mean, we saw boobs, so I was happy about that. I I I was like, okay, you know, we got the tape here. It's typical course, court case, you know, like the twist reveal, like, oh my god, the bishop is evil. He's exploiting these people. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I kind of knew we were going that path, you know. The actress, you know, if we spent more time with Linda, like I do agree with Jeff, but not with the Scarlet Letter. I think that is important to the film because Aaron did that intentionally. He did underline that because, you know, it means something to him that, you know, the bishop was a two-face. With Linda, I feel like Linda is such a like falter storyline that's like, okay, she's here and like she's another victim, right? And the thing about this movie, they don't like what do you call it, specify and like expand upon like how many victims did the bishop have besides those three, you know. So I think they could have been done more with that storyline. How many victims were affected by the bishop besides, you know, those three, right? Because you got two famous actors, you know, Edward, and then the other actor that I mentioned, he's from, you know, Chicago PD. Have you seen that show? I'm surprised they didn't get another actress that's well known in the '90s, like Kate, what is it, the actress from the Underworld, or you know, someone
Beckinsale.
Yeah, Beckinsale. Thank you. You know, to take that role maybe, but I don't know. It does. I feel like the whole end of this is so important for this film. But overall, the tape is important for moving forward to the plot. Like it gave us the idea of what's the motive for Aaron, why he wanted to kill the bishop. You know.
So we're just happy that, you know, Azalea was not like this.
No,
thank God. Thank God. Thank God. You know.
No. She was the Shakia of the '90s. I have to say. You know, she was fine. Like, I mean, she had. You know,
I would stick it to Brie. I would stick it to Captain Brie.
I don't know. I don't know. She was Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch levels. Actually, I gotta say. I don't know about Brie. Brie's just.
Captain, she's pretty sexy. She's pretty sexy, Captain Brie.
I know. Captain Brie is good. I give her a 5 out of 10. That's how far I can go.
It's more like this. Yeah.
Oh my
more
God.
like
No.
You know.
What the
hell?
hell?
There we go. You know, more like that. You know.
Oh my God.
Anyways, any thoughts on the sex tape yourself, Jeff?
Not really. I mean, I've seen better. You know, personally, you know, I mean, I guess for 1996, I guess it was like kind of a shocking thing or whatever, you know. But I'm sure there were probably plenty of people back in the '90s with those ganked out old school fucking video cameras, like videotaping sexual shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure it was probably pretty common. You know, so I didn't think that much of it, to be completely honest with you.
Excellent. All right. Excellent.
You know, keep nobody. That's a personal shit, dude. That's his own VHS collection and shit. Richard Gere got that video on the DL, all dirty and shit. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't even been in the evidence.
There you go, people. Down the DL, but Richard Gere, damn you, Richard Gere. Anyway, so going back to Richard Gere, Mr. Vale. So Vale angrily confronts Aaron about concealing information from him. But Aaron denies the accusations, becoming increasingly distressed as Vale continues to press him. Aaron's demeanor abruptly shifts from deferential to aggressive, and he chastises Vale for scaring off Aaron. This violent personality, Roy, admits to killing the Archbishop, but threatens Vale not to introduce the tape at trial. Suddenly, he reverts back to Aaron's docile personality with no recollection of the episode. Dr. Arrington concludes that Aaron has dissociative identity disorder caused by years of abuse at the hands of his father and later Rushman. Conflicted, Vale knows that he could acquit his client via an insanity defense, but legal rules would not allow him to change his strategy mid-trial. He delivers the evidence anonymously to Venable, forcing her to use the tape as proof of Aaron's motive, at the risk of tarnishing the Archbishop and generating sympathy for Aaron. Shaughnessy demands that she destroy the evidence, but she refuses and introduces it in court. All right, so we'll stop there. So what did you guys think about this section here? Basically kind of reasserting, the tape itself is being used as a kind of a bargaining pawn for Vale. Vale's using Venable as kind of a part of him trying to win his case as well. We get some really great kind of talking points by Frances McDormand's character here. We get to see her a little bit more in action. We get to see Shaughnessy in action, John Mahoney's character, and, kind of his inner monologue between him and Venable. And we kind of see Richard Gere kind of through this moment here too as well. We get a lot of him kind of contemplating what he needs to do to change and to move this trial in the direction he needs to go. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Starting with you, Jeff.
Yeah, so obviously the tape is a big deal, and it was definitely way kind of out of bounds of what I think is within reality, that Richard Gere's character would be able to get that tape the way he did it, and then just give it to the defense, give it to the prosecution or whatever. It was a very bold move on his part. It worked out, right? It got the tape into the trial, which was the key thing, right? Although it also gives motive, right? It provided motive. So like I said, at this point in the film, everything is all courtroom drama, and I like Alfre Woodard's character as the judge. She's pretty solid as the judge throughout the film. That's a pretty real part for me. I feel like that's pretty realistic, her portrayal. And I like the Shaughnessy character. I like that actor. I like the Shaughnessy character. It adds something to the film, a little something to the film. And yeah, that's it, Cyber.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Great job. Huge 10,000 points to you, sir. You're doing fantastic tonight. Really I feel the Jeff again. All right, Andres, your thoughts, sir, on that section.
This section, definitely my favorite part of the film. Just you think that the case of fuck you, Serenity Now. All right, Serenity Now, or Uchi Mama. Anyway, I thought this section was really good. Yeah, if you've seen Seinfeld, Frank Costanza, towards the end of the episode Serenity Now, it's Uchi Mama, Anyway, for those sci-fi fans there. Anyway, I'll I'll explain myself in those episodes later on. Anyway, so I thought this section here was really great. I mean, you see Edward Norton's like acting rage here to like 100%. You know, like that. You know, turn to Aaron to Roy is so fantastic. Like the fact he beats up Richard Gere is like so fantastic. I mean, like he like slaps him, is like, take this. I'm not Aaron, I'm Roy. Okay, you know. I told that pussy man to not run away and finish the job. You know, try to get the tape. You know, like he's trying to be a gangster. You know, it's like, whoa, that's crazy. Crazy turn here. So very tense, but like just energetic scene of two men. This one man seeing the truth about this person that has like this psychological problem, and so like that kind of just dents the case a little bit, because in the film they addressed that they cannot make a new plea in midway through the trial. There are, so that's really cool, that they're at least being realistic with what kind of court we're doing here. Sometimes they make these courts so ridiculous in these movies, so thankfully the primal fear is a little more realistic, how courts usually operate, maybe. I do agree with Jeff. The whole Laura Lee and Richard Gere's relationship here, it's not a happy relationship. I mean, it's more of a bitter relationship, because we find out that she thought it was more serious, but then it was a one night stand, as she phrased it. And so, their whole, chemistry is more of like bitterness. And I agree, it's not romantically, it's not like a romantically chemistry way, but it's it works fine in the film. But I think if it was another older actress under like in the same level as Richard Gere, I think it could have been better. But I think their scenes are pretty cool. And the tape, being important to the film makes a lot of sense. When you find a crucial evidence mid through your story, it becomes important to the protagonist and how to use it, and so it's good that the tape becomes important to the narrative of the film, because that also turns the case even more it hurts the case a little bit, because it gives the offense more evidence that he had like a legit motive to kill the bishop. But overall, this section is really great. You see great actors in their A game. Seeing Frances here is also great. I mean, she's a great actress. You haven't seen films like Fargo and Three Billboards. She's a fantastic actress, and it's great to see her in this film.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Awesome job. 10,000 points for you as well, sir. And here's an honor to you.
No one's going to marry you, Harnam. Like, you have a beard. No one's going to date you, Harnam. You have a beard. No one's going to be your boyfriend, Harnam. You have a beard. You are not a preference to a lot of men. And then I'll get like really feminine men message me, but that's not who I'm attracted to. Hannah, I like really masculine men, because I am very soft. I'm so different to what you see like on TV. On TV.
I've never seen you on TV.
I mean, not, but no, generally you'll see, oh, she's strong, she's.
Great honor to you, sir. Great honor. Great honor. Anywho, all right. So moving on. All right, so from there, where we left off. All right, so Pinero is discovered murdered, and Vale surprises the court by calling Shaughnessy as a witness. Vale suggests Shaughnessy resented the Archbishop for stopping the $60 million land development and accuses him of concealing previous evidence of the Archbishop's sexual predation, of her being complicit in Pinero's death. Judge Choate intervenes, striking the line of questioning from the record and fining Vale for using the courtroom as a stage for his own vendettas. She also dismisses Dr. Arrington's testimony as it leans too close to an insanity plea. Vale then calls Aaron to the stand, intentionally triggering his memories of his father abuse. Venable begins a challenging cross-examination in which Aaron suddenly becomes Roy, screaming obscenities and assaulting Venable before he is subdued. The judge dismisses the jury in favor of bench trial to declare Aaron not guilty by reason of insanity. So we'll stop there before we get to the climax or the ending of the film. So what are your guys' thoughts kind of on that whole courtroom scene there, the whole courtroom drama, and all that kind of craziness happening right there, kind of bringing Roy out and everything? And once again, hands down to Edward Norton in his screen debut. This was a phenomenal job pretending to be Aaron and Roy. And I think that showed such amazing first off ability, showing that this guy is going to go on and do a lot of great stuff. I mean, like we've mentioned earlier, he was in American History X. He was amazing. He was in Fight Club. He was in Death to Smoochie. He was in, several great films over the years, and he's just always really great. So I think this scene really shows that how great of an actor he is. So starting with you, Jeff, what are your thoughts on that section?
I mean, not much. It's the like the crux or like the zenith or the high point of like the courtroom drama, if you want to call it that. And so that's where we're at. Like that's the crux of it. Like, is that they're at the manipulate, level of the trial because it's the end. And like, you've got your star witness there, on the stand, right? So, I guess it's pretty, I don't know. I mean, watching it again now, it doesn't hit as hard. So, as it did back in the day. So, it's not as suspenseful as maybe you might want it. I don't know. But it is well paced. It maintains a solid 2-hour mark for the film, which is solid. I enjoy that. And it's pretty compact. It's kind of lame, the whole like Roy in trial scene where he goes after the chick lawyer. It's kind of lame, like looking at it now, but like, hey, what are you gonna do, right? I guess they thought it worked, so I don't know. She was okay, apparently.
Okay, sir. Once again, he just blops it like it's blopping out of goddamn thing. I think we should just stick to watching porn for him. Anyways, so great job, sir. Great job, sir. Andres, please, your thoughts, sir, on this section, and hopefully, we get a little more oomph here.
Yeah. All right. First, I don't know. You should be more engaged in this scene. This is like the peak courtroom insanity. Like each party just yelling each other. It's like, excuse me. Okay, this is why I'm sitting here. Why you did this? Like we got all the classic, courtroom, shouting and like examination, all that, which is really great. By the way, great judge here. The actress after Woody, Judge Reed, great actress. She was in Luke Cage as one of the bad guys there. She was in Captain America Civil War, the lady that talked to Tony Stark after he had the presentation at MIT. Fantastic actress. I mean, the fact like every time we see her, being done with the the courtroom, we go to her, her chambers. She always have a glass of drink. I'm like, what? Like after that you drink after that? I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I think this court scenes just shows how good the the actors are, and you see now the reveal of the twists of of the the real estate scheme. You see the child, the sexual abuse tape reveal. It's all engaging, and then of course we kind of bucketed it, having Roy to come into the courtroom, which I was very curious how they're going to do that. And of course, the Laura Lee's character is kind of was provoking, Roy, because she doesn't believe that. And of course, we take, I appreciate that this is kind of realistic because you don't know how these, well, not multiple, personalities is something that's kind of hard to believe, but the fact that she made a joke about it and like not consider that it could be, bad and dangerous for her, which we see here. Man, it was like a bomb city. Like it was like a ticky clock here going down. And then when it happens, it was like, whoa, crazy. I mean, first up, Roy punches, Rita Jira in the face, which is crazy. Uh, choking out at her was like, well, it was crazy, very aggressive. But yeah, I thought that was like, very engaging. I thought this part was really great. And then, it was funny. We find out what happened to the other victim, Linda. Right, she died, which was nonchalant. But it gets important towards the end of the film. We won't get into it. But like her death was like an even worse death. If you think about it. But I thought the reveal of her being dead and finding the water was like okay. I felt like that was like typical like police procedure thing, whatever. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, I thought this section was still engaging throughout the film. It starts to slow down in this part because the case has turned something else, which Richard Gere never thought it was going to be. So he had to think through like what's the new plan, how to win the case. And we see that he won the case. He had a mistrial, which is good, and so that's what happened. So I still was engaged with this film at this point.
All right. And thank you for going into the final part, as you just mentioned about Linda there, sir. So, I just have to say this.
The hoes are laughing?
Yep.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes?
Yep.
Damn those hoes. Anyways, go to the finale here now, folks. So great job, everyone. Yeah. Another 20 billion points for everyone involved today. Anyway, so yeah, so as we get to the conclusion here, we get a shaken Venable rejects Vale's advances, and Vale informs Aaron that he will be remanded to a psychiatric hospital for treatment with a strong possibility of release. A grateful Aaron thanks Vale and asks him to apologize to Venable for the injuries to her neck, leading Vale to realize that Aaron was aware of his actions during the attack. Aaron commends the attorney for his insight, then brags about having murdered Linda and Rushman without remorse and having multiple personalities. When Vale asks if the Roy persona was a fake the whole time, the murderer corrects him by stating there never was an Aaron counselor. Stunned in delusion, Vale leaves the courthouse, but does so through a discreet back entrance to avoid the tension and publicity he once sought. All right, so what are you guys' thoughts on the conclusion of the film? And now about Linda being told was dead. My goodness, this goddamn Andreas, the pop culture guy. Oh, what am I gonna do? The fuck with him? Jesus Christ!
Fuck you. We know she died in midsection. You remember he got the cold, and like his friend there, Goodman, was there to give him coffee. He find out the girl was dead, but we didn't know who killed her. That's the thing. My bad. That's what I was trying to say.
Yep.
I'm trying to explain that.
Yep.
Oh
my God. Anywho, no, thank you, sir. I don't go that way. Anyways, so your thoughts, sir, on the conclusion of the film?
Oh, okay, cool. I knew the twist a long time ago. That was fuck you, Serenity now. Anyway, Serenity now. Anyway, this is the one part I remember about this film. I mean, if you take a film course or see videos about the best twist, this is the one that I like. This is how I knew about this film, is the twist that he faked the whole thing. Like classic the usual suspects, and I got a feeling that this was very much like this is like I think partially inspired by the usual suspects. If anyone knows what happened to that film's twist, I'm not going to explore that. Um, Great film too as well, written by Christopher McQuarrie. Where that also had a twist that something happened. And I feel like this film was inspired by that twist, and like they did it here in a different way instead of like creating this something. This uh oh anyway, sorry, lost my train of thought here. So losing my mind here. Thanks a lot, Cyber. Anyway, set of
that's happening to you on your own, bro.
Yeah, I know that. I'm losing my mind too. I drank too many coffee, too much cocaine one day. Anyway, so anyway,
there you have it, people. Drug addict.
Yeah, drug addict. Exactly. In the future, so instead of a twist of a something here, we get this multiple personality fake thing, which is very interesting. I thought the twist did very well. I thought that Aaron pulled off this twist really great. I like the pause that Richard Gere did when he realized that he remembered what he did to his ex, and and then we get this rug, the rug coming from us that all this was fake. The personality was fake, and he did kill the bishop for real, like actually intentionally, not because of this mentally thing. And we got the shocking reveal that he killed Linda, which Cyber also spoiled. I didn't spoil. I say that Linda died. We find out that Linda died. She, we don't know who killed her, but now we get this reveal that that he killed Linda, because she was a not good. I don't know what was the reason. Like I guess she was not a perfect person, so he kill her off, for pleasure. And that really shocked Richard Gere. I really like how his shock is like he let a psychopath completely lie to him and trick him, and his whole face is like Richard Gere, great actor. Not my personal favorite actor, but when he does really great acting, this is where he's really good. And I think this film is really great, and he really acts it out here. And the delusional of his of defending this guy is just completely broken, and him not going to the front not going to the front, but instead going to the back is really great arc for this character, because he's all about the fame and he wants the fame and the attention, right? But after this revelation, he doesn't want it because he thought he was defending an innocent person, but instead he defended an actual killer that did all this, and he lied everyone to the faces, and it's whoa. So a very impactful ending to think about. Really great ending, great twist. I was just very involved, so I highly recommend everyone to watch this film. One of the best '90s movies. I'm excited to rate this film.
Thank you, sir. Jeff, your final thoughts on the conclusion of the film, sir?
Well, like I said, the twist doesn't really play that hard when you watched the film before. It doesn't really sell that well. But the first time that you watch it, it works. It's definitely alarming. That he killed the chick too. That's pretty fucked up. So that's a big reveal. For that to occur and for him to drop all that. It's a solid film. I enjoy Richard Gere. He kind of fell off the map, but he was pretty solid there for a while in the '90s. He was pretty consistent, delivered some pretty solid films. So I like me some Richard Gere, and I like everything that they do in the courtroom is done pretty well. I think it seems pretty realistic for the most part. To some extent, there's some stuff here and there I can say something about, but them going in the judge's office to like, to figure out the ending of the case was cool. I didn't really understand that what they were trying to evoke, having him grab her like that. It just looked like he was trying to grope her. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you trying to grope that chick? Yeah, I mean, it's a solid film. It's a good watch. Definitely watchable, entertaining. But that's pretty much it, Cyber.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Very good. Very good. Great job, everyone. All right. So that is the conclusion of the film. I don't think it's quite as entertaining, though, as this.
昔からまでね、膝生地を回すこと以外にほぼデータがなかったんですが、ただもんじゃないですね。
結構ね、ルイズ・プリモ選手の情報って意外と少ないですよね。
少ないんですよ。SNS でね、膝生地を回しながら戦う姿の動画がですね、めちゃくちゃバズったんですが、そのバズった以上の情報が入ってこないんですよね。今度はピザ。
There you go, folks. There you go. Little pizza wrestling for you guys. So yeah, great job, KJ. All right, so definitely both of you get the Danny Award tonight. You guys were both fantastic. Did a great job. You both got a billion gazillion points. So great job. You all deserve a great award because you guys are fantastic on the panel. And so let's go into ratings here. What would you give the film? Starting with you, Pop Culture Guy. You're muted, sir.
Anyway, what I was saying was, rating, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I thought this was a great thriller / courtroom movie I seen. I definitely could rank it high up to The Firm and A Time to Kill, two other like courtroom / thriller kind of films in that vein. I think this is top tier, and I think everything delivers. I mean, the twist was great. The acting was great. The cinematography and the pacing was really great. I highly recommend watching this. 9 and 10.
All right, Jeff, what would you give it, sir?
I'll give it a 7. I think that's a good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good rating. I'm going to go with a 7.
All right. So I absolutely love this film. It's one of my favorites. I watch it quite often. I think it's really well done. Like I said, to me, this is Norton's, opus magnus for his performance, and being his screen debut, I think that makes it even more better versus his other roles. Simply the fact you come out of the gate like that and you're that good, that just shows some really great talent. So I have to give this one a solid 10 out of 10 for me. It's very entertaining and enjoys me. It keeps me going. And I just think it's a really amazing thriller. I think it's overall just a really fun film. So excellent. Great job, guys. All right. So we'll plug ourselves out of here and then get the hell out of here. So if you want to pop that up there, guy, there we go. What we got going on, Mr. Andreas?
Not much. Just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight for the Primal Fear live movie review discussion live stream. So recently I put a Egon Spengler tribute. Of course, the late great Howard Raymond's birthday was yesterday, Thursday. So check that out. I've been doing a couple more shorts that's been helping my channel, which is great. Check it out. Got a couple of new shorts. The recent one is the Nightcrawler scene from the White House in X2 X-Men United. The first scene I put is really hitting big. I cannot believe it. I did a couple here with draws from The Spy Who Loved Me, I see before. So yeah, so I'm doing pretty good with my shorts. I'm very happy about that. This Sunday, just want to give out, I'm going to have another live stream review. It's on Half Bake. So the boys here are back again with me and my channel this Sunday, 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. Please join us. We're going to do Half Bake. It's going to be a funny movie review on this classic, drug movie starring Dave Chappelle, who's my favorite comedy actor. Amazing. Have you seen his show, The Dave Chappelle Show, or his awesome role in Undercover Brother as Conspiracy Brother? So thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Thank you, sir.
Cyber.
All right. So, of course, if you enjoy my content on here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge, you like me as a moderator or on the panel, you check out my solo content, folks. As you can see there, my most recent review is Venom: The Last Dance, along with my latest trailer reaction is Hard Eyes, a horror comedy film coming out in February. Venom: The Last Dance, if you have not seen it, highly recommend check it out. Such a great film, such a great end to that trilogy. Tom Hardy rocks. Such a great film, but check out that review if you have not seen it. I have more stuff coming for you guys. My most recent, of course, little short, of course, is Primal Fear, actually. I just put up my little mini review of that. I actually have a full-length review of that, too, you can check out as well. It's actually one of my when I was first doing this stuff on YouTube, so you can check that out. It's pretty funny. It's only like 7 minutes long. Super hilarious. But yeah, as you see there, Primal Fear and Red 1. Be going to see Gladiator 2 hopefully here soon, and Wicked. So keep an eye out for many reviews of those coming soon eventually. And just hit the 1,200 mark. So thank you for all those subscribers. You guys are rocking it. Thank you for being a part. And if you want to show more support for the channel, please check out my Patreon, where you get all kinds of cool stuff if you become a Patreon member, folks. And of course, always, please help us here at the MCU's Bleeding Edge as well. Follow us, like us, subscribe, keep on watching us. We appreciate you guys. You're rocking it. And keep on helping Mr. Pop Culture Guy get up there too. Watch his stuff as well. And we appreciate you guys.
That's right. And we'll see everybody again on Monday for Dune Prophecy Episode 2.
Episode 2, folks. Yeah.
So God bless everybody. We are out of here. Peace.